to Bizchicks TV. We're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. Here are your hosts.
Hey everybody, welcome to Bizchicks TV. This is it. This is the day you are here. Today is Tuesday. We're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. The digital diva herself, Terry Johnson, online right here from New York City. She's here, she's ready, and we've got some things planned for you today. So sit back, relax, get a cup of coffee, tea, something, and something to take notes with because every Tuesday we learn and then we go do. So, with that, welcome to Marketing Talks with your coach, TJ. TJ, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week of Marketing Talk, where we talk about marketing strategy and all the changes and how AI is just upsetting the apple cart and just changing things, and we don't know what's going on. Like, who did what, where to go, what to do. So this is the place where we talk about those things so you can feel less overwhelmed. Like, we talk simple steps here, simple things. And I call this one own your corner. And what does that mean? It means that you are going to, because I talk about trust. Like, trust is the thing that's going to get your business or brand to sustain itself in a world of AI when you cannot trust what you see and you cannot trust what you hear, and you have to question it. And unfortunately, that's where we are. So how do you get your business and brand to stand out online? And again, it's not follower counts. It's not everybody needs to see my post. It is interest based. So you're going to have to create content that kind of attracts the right person. And really, that's the way it's supposed to work, because, everybody's not your customer. You don't want everybody. I know we want all of the cookies in the cookie jar, and like some of those cookies are oatmeal raisin, and I don't want them. I don't like oatmeal raisin. I like chocolate chip. So it's a lot of that. It's a lot of connecting with your customer. Your audience first, giving them what they want, making sure there's a match. All of these things we talked about, interest-based and matching, and it can get confusing. So we want to keep it simple. So really owning your corner means, putting out your little table. When you go to not the fair. When you go to an event and you buy a table, it could be some kind of there's a word for it. It's not coming to me.
Vendor event.
Yes, you're a vendor. You bought your table and you put your table out and you put your things on there and you arrange them in a certain way and you've got certain things. Those are things to attract, right? Those are things that catch people's eye. You might have somebody, stand in front of the thing and say, hey, and pass out free samples, or, they do that in the grocery store all the time. Free samples. It's to get you interested, attraction and interested. But you got to set up your little corner first. And a lot of people don't want to do that. I'm like, why don't you want to set up your little corner? Set up your table. How else are you going to attract the right people and get them to buy? It's not, there are people online that make it seem so easy. Oh, it is so easy, to get things online. I want to move this little banner.
Okay.
So you want to set up your corner, your table, because you want to attract, you want to educate, you want to talk to interested people. So you're doing that online. And it could be social media, but it could also be your website. It could also be your, definitely going to be your email list, but you need a table. You need your corner. I don't know why people don't want to set up the little corner, because they think, well, nobody's going to stop at my table. The thing is, I posted and nobody's answering and nobody's saying anything. And we talked about that. But if you're getting sales, it really doesn't matter. Now, if you're not getting the sales, then there's something broken in the pipeline, and you need to fix it. And it's fixable, it's doable, but there's work. And I think it's because people see other gurus and, oh, I got 7 figures and da 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 da, and they teach you the process and they sell you on their course and everything. Really, it's going to be elbow grease and hard work of setting up your corner, right?
Yeah, because now you have all the years that we've been on here, you have always told us about the marketing, the systems, and everything that we need.
Yeah.
And we have always, okay, now I'm not going to use generalities like that. We need to do certain things.
Yeah.
There's the building. I was thinking about this. Okay, so the commercials that come on television, you see a lot of them coming, but when they are saturated with clients, those commercials tend to back off a bit, right?
Right.
They still come, but they're not so intense because now they have to service that client.
Right. See, that's the other part of it. That they're attracting the client or the customer, but then there's the customer satisfaction part of it on the other side of it. So you got to have this 2-part system of attraction and getting people into your funnel or your lead or whatever you want to whatever marketing term you want to call it. But on the other side, you got to keep them as a customer because that's the customer acquisition cost. They call it CAC, CAC. You spent all this time and money getting them, and on the other side of the purchase, there's more things you have to do because you have to keep them interested. Let them know what's going on with your business, a new product, a new this. Also, you want to keep the relationship going because they're going to talk about you to other people, which brings in other customers. See? There's certain things you got to do.
And so this keeps that cycle going. And so then I'm going back to the Roma bakery because they made this great bakery stuff. I'm going back to that same corner to get my bread because they have really good bread, cookies, pastries, and things of that nature. They're in the neighborhood and they just working away, just doing what they do. They put out a little coupon or something, and everybody in the neighborhood keeps coming back to them.
Right.
Because
why are they coming back?
Their cookies and pastries taste good, and they have great customer service when you walk in the door. And they own that corner.
Yes, they own the corner.
They own that corner.
They set up and they own the corner. But there's people that don't want to do that online. I'm like, the same thing you do in a brick and mortar, a real store, are the same things you do online. It seems like everything online is a magic. What did I say? You go to the ATM and put the card in, the money just spits out magically. Well, I mean, I've always told this story about my niece and nephew were like, oh, let's go do something when they were younger. When they were kids, and like, oh, let's go. And I said, well, where the money come from? Well, just go to the bank like mom and dad. I was like, you do know that money has to be put in somehow, that you have to have a job income to go into the bank, to come out of the bank with money. It was just explaining it. That was just, it's so simple to us as an adult, but a kid just sees you get the money. So that's what's happening online. People see people getting the money. And yes, you can get the money,
but you got to do that work on the other side.
Job. Yeah, somebody sat at a job they might not have liked. Maybe they did, but did they, sat there and they got a paycheck? See, the kids don't see that part. They just know mom and dad go to work, and then the money
is all it's over there in the bank.
Yeah, just go to the bank.
That's not how that works.
They were like, just go to the bank. Aunt Terry, just go to the bank. I was like, I can go to the bank, but I might come out empty-handed. No, I had money. It was just the fact that they were so nonchalant about.
Because there's a lot of people who are nonchalant about what you're talking about today.
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything. I can just put something online. I'm right. Like, no.
That's the part where they get disappointed because they just put something online because they see other people to them just put something online, but you didn't see the hard work. You didn't see, and Gary Vaynerchuk always says, I started out with zero. I started and I just spent time after I worked, because he worked in the wine store. He worked, even though his father owned it, he worked because his father put him to work. He had to work. There was no trust fund, baby. So he had to work. And then he was like, well, I'm getting a regular salary. He said, I got a regular salary, just like you guys. And I came home after working. And that was when, social media was first coming out. And he was just curious about it. Sat down and did the work. He said he does the 9 to whatever, 9 to 7, or not 9 to 7, 9 to 12, or whatever it is, until you go to bed, instead of spending time watching TV and all the other stuff that wastes time. He was spending time on Twitter, building up his Twitter, responding to people and talking to people. So that really is, and he always says about dirt. That means you get in there and you dig it up. I always talk about that you buy the farm. And you go and buy the farm. It doesn't look like you pictured it. Oh, especially somebody, from New York City, we're like, oh, we want to go live on a farm. You buy the land, but the farm doesn't instantly sprout out of the ground. You got to put some work into it. So what I'm saying is some people don't understand that or don't want to do that.
Yeah, they don't understand that, okay, somebody got to plow the field.
Yeah, so guess what? You do it.
You gotta plant the seeds,
or you pay somebody to do it. So
and you got to get out there and keep the weeds out. And then there's feeding the horses. Okay,
right, because I always see the oh, it's so hard. Oh, nobody sees my posts. Oh, the algorithm is doing it to me. Oh, I'm the shadow banned. Oh, Instagram is doing it to me specifically. Oh, whoa, and I'm like, it's still there. You're gonna have the ground is frozen. Right now, you're going to have to figure out how to unthaw it and break that dirt up and turn it over and all the things that you do.
And this is interesting because those people had to do that hard work to make it pay off. And I mean, the Donner part, everybody's trying to come west and to get to there.
Across the mountain.
And that was not, I'm like, not everybody made it.
No, not everybody made it. And also, if you're on the East Coast, they're like, there's gold over in the West. And it's like, yeah. And the road to get there. Then when you get there, there's a bunch of rocks. Well, the gold is in the rocks.
And you had to get, and the people that made money were not necessarily the people who got the
mine the gold. There's a lot of things that happen.
The people that were selling the jeans, selling the
Levi's. Look, that's a great example of Levi started out as that in 18 whatever, and now here it is 2025. Jeans is a fashion accessory.
But they had to pivot from they had to pivot from being the work jeans that where people
that wasn't fabric that people wanted back then. They didn't want that denim because that's what Levi was like. What do we do with it? Nobody wants it.
Then they had an idea for marketing it, and all of a sudden everybody wants a pair of 501s.
And that's why you see I think it's two horses with a plow, or a plow and a horse or something. There's some kind of horse and thing on the label. I don't know if they still do that, but it used to be that.
It says Levi Strauss
and horses. It was horses and stuff. So it's interesting to look at, and I always love to look at shows like that because there's a show on the History Channel that talks about the origin of the older brands like Coca-Cola and Levi's and Kellogg. There was a good one on Kellogg's and how it became, because you got to realize when they started in 18 whatever, the culture was different, times were different, and there were things they didn't have that we have today. So you look at it going, well, how did that become a brand? Well, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So how do you become a brand today? It's a lot of work. And here's another thing, because I asked my assistant Jessica about, I was talking about the topic, and I think I asked about, I said I pulled up a quote that somebody said something about, because they're on YouTube and how they're successful now, but they mentioned that they started during 2020 in the pandemic, and I was like, well, okay, that was 2020. 2025 is different. And I asked Jessica how, tell me how to do it now, because 2020 is a different era. Did everybody remember that? We were locked down.
2020 was hard to do some
Yeah.
things, but 2018 was harder than 2020.
Yes, yes. But people, my point is, people did it. And now I'm seeing all these people on YouTube and podcasts saying, well, I started in 2020 during the pandemic. And I was like, I remember saying it when we were in the pandemic. I remember saying that this was the time to start. And a lot of people are like, no, that can't, it's a hard time. We're all stuck indoors. But look how many people, and I'm really going to start keeping a list of, like, every time I hear somebody say that they 2020, and remember that was TikTok. TikTok took off. So
because everybody's at home. And okay, so let me just sell you something from my house.
Yeah,
they were.
But how? It seems so impossible now, because everybody remembers you couldn't get out. We were stuck in the house. But I said that there were things you could have delivery. Delivery took off. Delivery took off. I talked about this before the pandemic somewhere, and we were talking about Amazon Fresh, and people are like, I'm not ordering groceries from Amazon Fresh. That's stupid. And I was like,
until you can't go outside.
And then the pandemic happened. I said, oh, you people see now, right? You see now. So that was a thing. But what my point is that a lot of these people who are successful in 2025 grown their brands, all of these subscribers, all of these followers, they all say about 2020 they had an idea, whatever. And I told Jessica, I was like, well, that's great, but that's 2020. I need to know right now, because things are different.
And that is what's happening right now. There are a lot of people who have the pitchforks and the torches out. No AI. And I'm like, wrong move.
I'm like, no.
Wrong move.
Let's talk about an AI bubble. And I'm like, we'll talk about that soon, but there's talk of an AI bubble. And I'm like, yes, something's happening there, but it's not what you think.
Correct.
And we'll talk about this, but I just want to give you this little thing that one of the journalists or articles or whoever mentioned it being similar to the tech bubble of, I believe it was 2020. I think the tech 2021.
2001.
I mean, 2001, not 2021. Yeah. 2001. Anybody remember that? All the tech stocks and and everything burst. But something came out of that. But I just, I got an idea to talk about that, because I'm hearing people talk about the AI bubble, and it's to put AI down is the whole talk.
Right. And okay.
It's to get rid of it. It's to put it down. It's because we're afraid it's going to take out all of the things. You hear it all the time. It's going to take our jobs. It's going to take this. It's going to do that. So yeah, let's stop it. And I'm like, well, you guys can write stories about AI bubble to feed into the fear, but there's if you mention it similar to 2001, I'm like, well, I got something to say about that, because some things came out of that.
Right. 2001 wasn't all bad.
Things came out of it. Yes, there was a bubble, and the tech companies and I think pets.com was one of the examples, but something came out of that. See, something came out of that, and yes, the bubble burst, but something came out of it. So something's going to come out of this. So the people who are thinking that this is going to destroy AI, this is going to remove AI, I'm sorry. That's not happening. Not happening,
because that you can't put that wisp of smoke back in the bottle.
Because we're going to get to a point where you're not going to have to learn or know AI or whatever the terms people are saying now. You're just going to do things, and it's going to be so much simpler and so much easier, and you're just going to do it.
Well, but see, the thing is, we talked about this right before we got on the air. Everything is AI. It has always been. Every piece of tech that has come since the 1800s has been AI. I'm like,
it's just emerging as I always call it, it's the not the platform. Oh, what is not the process? There's a word I want to think of. Protocol. There's a technical term. Protocol. There's network protocols. There's this protocol. That emails a protocol. All that stuff. The technical backbone of how everything works. So AI is a protocol. You're not going to think about how it works.
It has been with us for so long already that it has been integrated into society. They just took the cover and pulled it off and said, oh, this is AI. And I'm like, oh, so it's always been AI.
Yes.
It was just covered over with a nice little blanket and stuff. And now somebody went and took the blanket off and said.
When the internet first started, there was no graphical interface like the browser we have now. It was just the internet, computers talking to each other, but somebody saying, hey, wait a minute, we got to make this thing easier and look nicer. And really Apple came out. That's how Apple, the operating system, came about, because Steve Jobs was like, well, this it's got to be easier than Windows.
Right. And
so he designed it.
And then he sparked something, and then the other people jumped on board, and now we're talking to you. Not, I'm in California, she's in New York, TJ's in New York, and we're talking to you live and in person, and you think that's not AI?
Everything
is AI.
All right, so this is some of the background of why we need to do this Own Your Corner, because you need that. You need to own it, because there's the work involved. And I always say the work involved. I don't want to discourage anybody, but it's not as easy as you think, but it is easy. That's the whole purpose of talking about all of this stuff in the past, is that it used to be a lot harder. It used to be 100 steps to do this. Now it's 1 or 2. And I love this, because the lives that Gary is doing now, if you go check out his lives, he's doing a lot of things on Whatnot. He's doing a lot of lives, but his lives are, people ask questions, and they ask, well, this they ask things, and he goes, well, don't waste time here asking me that. Go to ChatGPT, go to Gemini, go to what, and he will pick up his phone. And all his interviews now, he's like, hey, wait a minute, let me tell you. And then he pulls up he uses ChatGPT, and he just starts talking to it.
The same way the person making a phone call or talking to him, asking him a question, that person could have went to ChatGPT and asked that question.
Yeah, because I think he had a question from like a 19-year-old person who was asking about something, and he said, why are you asking me? He was like, you got your phone, pull it up. And he said to ChatGPT, he says, hey, I'm a 19-year-old something, and I live, it was someplace like Kansas or something. And he was like, well, tell me what I can do locally to start a business. I forgot what it was, but it was something about selling on Whatnot. And he was like, well, how can I do something locally? And he didn't type in how do it. And he said a lot of people are using it as search on Google. And it's not that. It's, I have a problem. State the problem. How can you help me? Or what what's the end result? And you say, can you help me build a strategy to da 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 da? And it can be as long as you want. The prompt, because you're talking, and you let it do its thing, and then you say, okay, I like this, and I do this all the time. I say, I like that line. Explain it to me better. Explain it to me further. Give me an explanation. Give me examples, and it will do it. So I don't understand what's going on, but he's in that mode now where he's like, don't ask me the questions about how to do X, Y, Z. Ask your phone.
And we have literally, you have an assistant in your pocket. Steve Jobs brought us music, 1,000 songs in your pocket. We now have an assistant who can answer just about any question you have right now.
And I love the fact that you don't have to ask it in a format. You don't have to go, how do I? You can say, hey, I had this crazy, and you can say, I had this crazy idea for blah, 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 blah. You say, well, I say, what do you think? And it tells me that's a good idea based on your brand, Terry Johnson Online. That's a good fit. Blah 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 blah. And then I say, oh, what are the blind spots? What am I missing? And it says, well, you're missing this. You could do this and you could do that. I'm like,
and people are thinking prompting is hard. Prompting is giving the instruction. It's not hard. Just have a conversation.
Because people are we are not in November 2022 when you had to have a whole 10-page prompt. We're not there. We're not in that place. We're in the future where we just say, hey, I had this crazy idea about XYZ. Tell me what to do with it. And it tells you what to do with it. And you decide which path to take to pick up the thread and say, let's talk about this instead of that. Because I even had a book. I think I said something about a book or something. It says, well, you can write the book. I said, I don't want to write the book. I want to talk about the strategy and the idea behind the book. And it said, okay. And then we went off into a different tangent because I didn't want to write a book. I wanted to talk about the strategy of it. I wanted it to explain it to me. So I use explain, example, exemplifying, tell me about this. I heard this online. I read this online. Tell me more about it. I will take snippets of like people talking on YouTube and they say one line or something like this person that said they were the business and they saw in 2020. I take that one little piece of snip and I go to chat and I say, well, this person said da 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 da. Like I said about the 2020 version versus how do I do it in 2025? And it told me. And then I can ask it. This was another thing that came up on the Friday Tech Talk about the sources. I asked for this. I said, well, tell me, who else is talking about this right now? And it said, really, these people are talking about it, but nobody's talking about it in the way that you're talking about. Like the title I picked out. They said nobody's using that title. And here are the sources. And it cited the sources. And I could click on the link and it went to the articles. So you have to ask it for those things. It's not, and that was the thing that came up Friday was this copying. I said, it's not copying. It's pattern recognition. It's the dog with the bone. You throw the bone or the ball. What does the dog do? They go and fetch. It's called fetch.
Okay. See, it's not that complicated. It's just asking questions.
We are making it complicated.
That part.
We're making it hard.
Humans tend to.
Oh, we throw the roadblocks up real quick.
Is that the reason? That may be the reason why the self-sabotage happens. Because
yes, it is. We throw it could be the easiest thing as 1, 2, 3 apple pie, whatever, and we go, wait a minute. There might be some glass in there, or there might be some. We put the thing in there that's not in there,
and talk ourselves out of owning the corner.
Yes, because it's the work.
Right, because I can own my corner. I put in some, I had a conversation with Jules, which is my
your assistant.
Business coach, my business coach. Right. And he said, do this, and just be consistent doing this. Now, if I don't get out there and go do that, who is the problem?
You're gonna what is there's a word for it, something about I forgot what it is, but it's instead of doing, you sit there and you research it more and more. What is it called? They talk about this online.
Paralysis analysis.
Yes, that's it.
You just keep analyzing.
Yes, you want to sit and analyze it. And see, that comes from us the way we were taught in school. When we needed to write a paper or you needed to go and research. So we're stuck in the research mode when it's like, okay, just go and do it based off, don't research, just write the paper based off what you know. And then go and fill in the blank. But see, that's because of the way we were taught in school to do that. So that's why I say I got tons of things that Jessica and I have talked about. And I'm like, well, I got to execute on these things.
That is the word.
So many things. Yes.
That's the word. The execution of it.
Right. And see,
Okay.
now we got AI tools to where, okay, I need a landing page. Well, before I had to, I got to go to WordPress or I got to go to Squix or where. Now you could just go to Gamma, you can go to Lovable, you can go pick your tool and tell it, I need a landing page that says that's about blah. And it does it for you. And guess what? You just use it. So again, but still, we're going to put that analysis paralysis stuff in there of not executing. See, you got to own your corner. It's time to own your corner, people. It's time to put that table out and get it done and execute it.
Don't put no roadblocks around your table and
right
around your corner where people can't get to you.
Don't block the people from coming to the table. You got something in front. They see you down the, they're coming 3-4 tables down and they see something. You got something interesting, but you blocked it off with something. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's the same thing when people in sales say, don't talk yourself out of the sale, because you will do that.
And I am telling you, the things that you have been sharing over the years have coming back. Because see, you've been talking principle, not yet, and then you take the tools to apply the principles.
Right, because it's because I've studied marketing. That was my thing in college. But the marketing back then is different from today. But the process, the thought of it is the same. It doesn't change. Business doesn't change. The tools we use to do business changes.
Those change.
Instead of doing 10 things, we do one thing. See, that's the process. So we got to get it. That's what I always talk about. I see all of these older people who have 40 years experience, 50 years experience, 20 years experience, and they get mad because AI is taking my job. I always remember the guy that talked about his wife was a graphic designer 20 years and she doesn't know what to do. Well, she better get on Firefly or Canva or someplace.
Start creating. Tell us how to tell the AI what to look for, because as an artist, and see, you do art, I don't see shadows and things like an artist does. I can draw a stick figure and you might be, I'm good,
right?
But I don't see, like, if I were to try and draw you, I don't see the shadow. I don't see.
You're right. And here's another part that I think, because people, do things manually, like a graphic artist does things manually. First they drew with pen and paper, and then they switched to Illustrator and digital tools and digital tablets and everything. Now they have to make the mind switch to, I can't manually duplicate it or make it. I have to tell my words have to make it. So I got to find the right words.
Right. And you have to be able to communicate now.
Yes.
So remember, in high school, I was on the yearbook team.
Mm-hmm.
And in order for us to do a yearbook, we had to cut and lay out stuff and and take
that's how you had to do things. Before we had Photoshop, before Canva, you had to cut things and lay them. That was called layouts.
And you had to take the picture and put each person's picture in the yearbook on the paper, on the grid.
Guess what? When you go to Photoshop, they have something called layout. It's just digital.
and then you just bring the picture in. Before, we had to literally, the photographer took everybody's picture and we had to cut the little pictures out precisely, measure, and stick it on the paper.
So
with
now,
the glue.
2025, all that's done in tools that do it digitally. And now we have AI where you know what you want. You know the output. Now you have to tell it text-wise. You have to describe it that the AI understands what you want. And that may take a few attempts. But to sit back and say, well, get mad because, well, I'm a graphic designer, I'm a graphic artist with 20, 30 years experience, and I'm mad about AI. Well, you should be spending all your time trying to learn that, because people want your experience. Businesses, not even people, businesses, corporations need that. Because even though corporations are, getting rid of people and saying, we'll just have AI do 1,000 jobs, they're not going to get what they want, because the people aren't there to tell
Right.
AI what it is to get
So
it out.
that graphic person that you were referring to, if she was working at the corporation using AI tools, she would have the job over somebody else, right? Because she knows how to communicate
Yes.
to the
To the
device,
tool,
to the
to the tool,
tool.
yeah.
She can communicate to the tool
What it is,
exactly what the
the output.
corporation wants.
And she can even do that today because, like I said, we're going to get rid of 1,000 jobs because we got AI to do it, and 5 people will run the AI. And then corporate, at the top, they go, well, what is this? This is not what we wanted. And then she could come in and say, well, I spent, time learning whatever tool she want to pick up and go, here, I know what you want because I worked here. This is what you want, and here's the output. And they go, great, but hey, don't hire me as an employee. I got my own business. So hey, I want this percentage, I want that percentage of output and this and that. So that's how you finesse it.
Right.
They still need what she has. They don't know it yet, but they will.
I was working with a client who wanted to revise and refresh her website. I was not going back into WordPress.
You don't have to.
I took the tool and I said, this is what we want to do. And I was able to go back and forth with the client because sometimes the client has a challenge trying to say what they want. They'll know it when they see it.
Right.
And so
it's all visual. It's visual work.
Right. And so I was able to go in there. Well, what do you think about this color? And and I'm on the other side. I'm not going into the CSS file and putting the color number in and doing all. I'm talking to the tool and
change red to blue. Done.
Do this. Done. I don't like this. I don't like this image. Okay, I went over to another tool. Generate me an image of da 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 da. Do you like this image? Yes. Okay. Yes. And now I took the other tool. Now put this image here.
Yeah, because see, that's what I said. You're not manually doing it. Now, I like to still manually do things, so I will continue to do manually do things. But that's where we are now, where you don't have to manually, well, I got to learn WordPress, or I got to learn how to do it in Squarespace, or I got to learn. No, you just go to Gamma, you go to Level, you go wherever, you know, like Fran is saying, what do you want? While the person is saying, change the red to blue, instantly done.
Because they can't do it. They don't understand how to do it. And for them to learn
even if they did, they might not want to because that's time intensive.
And it's very time intensive because when the tool doesn't do what it's supposed to do, and you got to sit there and talk to the tool and try to look, that is not what I asked for.
About the graphic artist and the corporation, because they think we'll just have AI do it and it comes out perfectly. No, she knows, oh, well, they're going to mess up and I'll just sit back and wait. And I got my stuff here and I roll in and save the day. They're going to be grateful. They're going to agree to whatever you want, terms you want.
Because you can get done what they need done in a record amount of time.
Yes. Yeah, so I a lot of people aren't seeing that, and I understand that. There's the fear of AI. I understand that, but it is a new world that you got to wrap your mindset around. You got to own your corner. You got to say, I'm going to put my table here. And I'm not even talking about, entrepreneurship and being your own boss. I'm not even saying that. I mean, that's why I brought up the example of the graphic artist. She doesn't have to, be a solopreneur or whatever. She could learn the tool, get the output, and go to the corporation or another business or whoever and say, hey, I know what you want and I know how to get it. I know how to get it quick and fast in a hurry, but you've gotten rid of all of these people and you're using this AI tool and the tool doesn't do. I always bring up the Star Trek where is this Scotty that talks they go back in time. I forgot which one. They go back in time and then the computers and he picks up the mouse. He says, computer. And the guy's like, what are you doing? You put it down and move it. And he was like, oh, how quaint. because he's used to talking. There's your AI. But that's what I mean. It's a mindset shift of, oh, we're back in 1980. This is how you guys use the computer instead of talking to it like this. So I always loved like Star Trek and all those Star Wars and all these futuristic movies and TV shows because they really show us the way how to do things.
Because I saw, I did see on one Star Trek, you know how we have where we can speak on a mic and it types it out? That
Yes.
Star Trek, she was amazed because the dude said, do da 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 da. And she was looking at her computer, her typewriter, and it was typing out whatever he was saying. Or everything she was saying. And she was like, how is this happening? I'm like, oh, sweetie, if you just knew, that was the beginning of things that we can do now.
I remember when I was a kid that they was talking about video phones, a video phone, video telephone. And I was like, how would they do that? Here we are, like FaceTime. It's not a thing. It blows your mind when you're a kid, but when you're here now, you're going, oh yeah, I remember them saying. I was like, they're not gonna do that. That's not happening. Fast forward a few decades.
Video over IOP, voice over IOP.
Voice over IP. There's more to come. So, but the thing is, I want to talk about the own your corner of the internet. I want to get into some of the notes that Jessica put together. So, so she was talking about the old game versus the new one. So the old game posts more, hope something sticks, but now they're saying that you need to build something steady. You need to build something that lasts, that's not a trend, because the goal isn't to chase visibility, it's to build permanence. So you're going to be visible. You want to be visible, but you want it to be permanent. So you have to own your corner. You have to set up your table and you have to be visible but permanent. So the thing is, when you own your corner, your content lives on the platform you control. Your audience connects you directly, not through an algorithm. Your offers, what you're giving out, generate revenue that supports your work long term. You own it. You decide how it grows. Okay, so here's the steps about being a self-sustaining creator, and this is Jessica's words. You build an ecosystem that supports itself. Own your corner, but you're going to let people going to find you through helpful evergreen content online. You're going to build trust through consistent human communication. You're going to sell something small but useful that solves a real problem. That's the beginning part of it. You're not going to give them the whole 31 flavors. We talked about that also, because a confused mind doesn't buy. So you're going to have one singular offer. When that gets momentum, that gives you the energy, the momentum to do the next thing. And I see a lot of people do this. They want to set up, say you set up a t-shirt store or whatever, you're going to sell 100 million t-shirts. Because that's the thought that you have, but you got to do one or two, because if I'm selling a whole bunch of things, a person's going to be confused. Like, I don't know what to buy because you've got too many things here. Versus having one thing that fits a certain subset or a certain audience, and they buy and buy and buy and buy. That the momentum of it. See, you want the momentum of it. All right. So that is kind of the basis of it. But a part of that is, you're going to make, own your corner. You're going to have your home base, is what Jessica is saying. You're going to have your website. And you want to start with clarity. You want to make sure base is strong. You want to make sure your messaging is natural and connects. And once you do that, you're going to make content that lasts. You're going to make it where, you may not have to post all the time, but you're going to be consistent. You may get traffic from search. Somebody may be searching for you and find that way. Somebody may find you from word of mouth. They may find you different places, but that is going to build trust that compounds momentum and takes them to your corner. Once you get them there, you're gonna do your list. We haven't talked about the email list in a while, but you want your email list because your email list is your safety net. That's a space that no algorithm controls. When someone joins your list, they're saying, I trust you enough to hear from you again. So your goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. And once you do that and you have that relationship built, you're going to talk about your offers. You're going to say, hey, the other day I had an idea about a problem that I know my community has, my audience has. And I was like, well, how could I do that? And then I said, oh, I came up with the idea of the ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. And it's real easy. You describe it. And if you have trouble describing it, there's your tool. Your tool will help you describe. How can I describe this to my audience in an easy, simple way that gets them to buy? Boom. AI will tell you how to do it. You put that in the email because they're on your email list, and you just have conversations, and then you have a link to buy. The link to buy, the link to buy. Once they're on the email list, the link to buy. And guess what? Someone may bite. Someone may not on your list. But what you do is you constantly get people into the list. You constantly communicate what's going on in your life, in your business. And I had this idea that solves a problem, not something that you want to sell. It solves a problem of the audience. And you constantly put it out there in your email. There's always this idea of people going, oh, I don't want to bombard. Oh, people get bored. No, they don't. They might not have seen your first 2 emails or your first 5. But they might have hit on number 6 and you're offering something they need right away. That's how it works. I'm on tons of lists because I sign up to see the process and everything. And then I will check my email and go, oh, here's somebody talking about something. I was like, oh, yeah, I remember I signed up for them. And I look at the thing and I'm like, oh, this is what I need. I click on the link. I buy it. Because I was in the right frame of mind. But this person has sent me emails over time. See? It's not I send out an email, they buy right away. It's I send out an email today. I wait a day or 2. I wait 3 days. That's why you can have automated things set up in your email marketing system, whatever you use, MailChimp, is Constant Contact one. There's so many that keep changing the name. Flow, I think Flow Desk. There's one called Flow something, but they all have a automation in it, a sequence of day 1, send this message. Day 3, send this message. Day 5, you set it up how you want, and it goes out. And guess what? People buy when they're ready. But you're constantly giving that communication of, this is what I'm doing. This may help you because I know you have this issue, you have this problem, this is going on, that is going on. I've made this easy, simple process. I have this book, I have this course, I have this mini thing, I have a this, I have a that. It's only $7, it's only $27. Whatever it doesn't matter about that. It's just that they're on your list. You're messaging them outside of the algorithm. This is happening outside the algorithm, people. There's no shadow banning.
Isn't this like we get something that comes in our email all the time?
Yes.
We get emails that come all the time. Once you see something, oh yeah, I'm meant to do that, or I'm ready to do this now. Then you respond to the email that comes. Like I have cards that I have made from a particular company. I like their quality.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll keep sending me an email. Oh, we got 50% off, 30% off, and Black Friday, Blue Friday, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not ready. Then, oh, I'm down, I'm low on my cards. Let me see what kind of special they have. And I will go and take advantage of the email they sent. I don't make a decision, or I don't take action on every email that is sent, but I take action on an email when it is something that I need to do right now. It is kind of like okay, let me see if I got this analogy right. It's like if I'm going to the store, the Walmart in most places is open. Well, they used to be 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean I'm going to Walmart every day. It just means when I do go to Walmart, I expect Walmart to be open because I said I wanted to go at this particular time.
Yeah.
That's the brick and mortar side. The email campaign is the uh, digital side where my store is open and I'm telling you what I have available, and then you decide to, oh, she has that available, let me go and go get whatever this is, scarf, boots, whatever, but I'm
Right.
going to go get it now because I saw an email with 20% off, 10%
Right.
off,
At the
whatever.
right time.
Right. But I saw those come in all the time. I just wasn't ready. Like
Right.
I don't go to Walmart every time the door opens. I go when I'm ready.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm just real quick because I was like, I just picked up to look at my email. There is somebody I follow that they talk about what does he talk about? I forgot. It's AI he has AI digital products and he's always going, okay, sign up for this training.
Mm-hmm.
It is free on this day. And
Mm-hmm.
you sign up and you get, he does 30 minutes or whatever. He shows his process of how he did, whatever it is, make a AI twin, do a this, do a that. So, but if you don't sign up for the free training, he will send out, if you sign up for the free training, you get the replay, no cost. But if you wait and don't sign up, and then a couple days later, he will send an email saying he has a training on this, it's $97. Because he puts it out free and you got to get it right then, but you got to see the email. But if I come in and I see the email a week later, I'm like, oh, I want to get in on that, and I tap it and it says, okay, the training starts and da 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 da, but it's and now it's $97. I can't get mad at that because he sent it out for free. He did it for free on the day that he said. Right, but he will he sells the replay. If you didn't sign up for the free, if you sign up for the free one, you get there's no cost. But he
But if
will
you
make it a product in his store. He has a store that everything, the training go into the store. If you missed the free, he does it free one time, but you have to sign up by the date. And if you miss the date, it's still available training, but now it's $97 in his store. See?
that's smart.
See, but you can't get mad at that because he offered it's free. And because I've looked at it a couple times, I'm like, wait a minute, this thing is free. One, if I sign up for the free, I'm like, the free. He's like, here's the free because he gives you the link and here's the free, and it's there. It's a video on YouTube and he's talking about blah, 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 blah. But if you miss it, you have to go to his store. So say I go into my email and I missed it by a week or two, and I want that. The link is still active. When I tap on it, now it's in his store on his website, and it's $97. Some of them are $147. Some of them are more than that, depending on the topic and how much time. Because I think one of them, he has a 3-hour where he did the training and then he answered everybody's question. And all of that is available for the $197 or whatever price he says. So you cannot I don't get mad at him because like, oh, it was free. Everything can be free. So, but he's doing a generous thing by saying, here's the free, you get on his list. And then everything comes. All the next, I think he maybe does a free one every month. I'm not sure of the timing of it, but I've seen it and I go, oh, I better jump on this now because it's free. Because in a afterwards, in a week or two, it's going to be like $97 or $47. He's done different prices.
Right. But the point is, you had an opportunity to get on it for free.
Yes. Yes. He even had like I think a super, like it was a prompt. I think it was last year. He had like a prompt document, like 300 prompts or something. And it was like free or like $5, something like that. And then if you missed that window, the link, if you saw the email, you could click on it, but now it was $47 in his store. And then I saw it again, it was $97. And then he has a community, like he has a not school, one of these platforms where you make a community off of Facebook. Mm-hmm. So people in there were like, oh, where's the free this? And it was like, you can't get mad because he gives it to you for free. You got to Johnny on the spot with it. You got to sign up right away. Because if you want it later, it's $47. It's $97. It's a business. I can't get mad at him, but people do. So
we're not getting mad at him.
But that's what I mean about being on the email list. And I've got him saved as in Gmail. I think you could start or make it VIP or something. His stuff is VIP. And I make sure I see it because I'm going to get the free stuff. And then even if it's something I want and I miss it, I might pay for it, depending on the price and what I want. I was like, well, I don't really want that. But he's got people coming in, and it's all AI stuff.
And this keeps that's why TJ keeps us sharp and ready to go, because she's on the list.
Yeah, I'm on the list. And I'm looking at his store going, I need to duplicate this. But he's put a lot of work. He's put a lot of work into it. Really, he has.
On the back end that we don't see, but it's working for him. And this is so I made mention of the bakery, that's the corner bakery that used to be, well, it's still there under new management on D Street in Sacramento. That little corner thing could be better if he had an email list. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I could get, when you got fresh peanut butter cookies coming out, or when you got whatever it is that you're baking for the holiday, or whatever it is you're doing, if I knew, get me to come back in the store.
He own in the corner of, I'm not going to cry about nobody sees my post online. When they do see my post and I make it something they want, I'm going to catch them with the email list, and I'm going to get them outside of the algorithm because they want it. See?
Ooh, that's another article, outside the algorithm.
Outside of the algorithm. I don't know why people are going, well, okay, I do this, I do that. Nothing's working on, and it's always Instagram that they want. But I'm like, the people that are making it work on Instagram, like people like Brock, is it Brock Johnson? The Instagram guy. He's constantly putting out posts and things and that. Yes, he does some ads, but he's constantly putting out posts and saying DM to get on to this, DM to get on to that, constantly. But his posts are different all the time. Now, he may have somebody helping him now, but in the beginning, it wasn't. It was just him. So here's that part. I said in the beginning about you have to do the work, and then everything gets to a point where you can hand it off to somebody, or the system works without you putting so much effort and content into it.
I don't know if you saw this because you like these shows that talk about food and whatever.
Yeah.
So on Netflix, there was a show with Vince Vaughn, and he was called Nona's, where the grandma.
That was a good movie. That was good.
A very good movie. Well, he had a lot of work trying to buy the space,
the space, and his friend happened to be a contractor who knew how to do restaurant renovations and did it for him. Sold his car. It was a whole thing about
But it was good. Now, what I learned from that is he put in that work, and he had opportunities to give up.
Almost lost a good city job. And his co-workers was like, he told his co-workers to like punch me in because the supervisor was headed out for him, looking for him. And his co-workers did a whole thing for him. So,
but he had this idea, and it was a great idea, but he had to fight. And I think it's based on a true story.
I think it is. I think it is a real person that really happened. That it was their grandmother's recipe, and they wanted to honor the grandmother and the mother and make the restaurant, but he knew nothing about the restaurant business. So, people tell you it's foolish, don't do it, but he did it anyway. So,
but but on in the corner, he did the hard work, TJ. He did the work. He worked after hours. He did everything
And
and listened with
brought the nannies, what is it, nanny?
Nana's
Grandmothers in.
He brought them in to
Yeah.
do the recipes. Each one of them had a specialty.
Yeah. And they all had quirky little things. They fought. And it's a cute movie. It's really cute. I might have to watch it again. I was like, what is this about? And I said, well, this is a good movie.
Right.
It's really good. But it shows the effort. Yeah.
The effort that he put into owning his corner. And
here's the part when he got it done and nobody came in. Nobody came in because there was people in the neighborhood that were mad because he had taken the sign down. It was a restaurant that had been there for like a long time. People in the neighborhood were upset. So they kind of sabotaged his opening. Mm-hmm. But he had to pay the bank and he mortgaged his house. And so.
But he, it took community to help him, to the people that were helping him. And he brought the people in and it was real good. You need to watch the movie because it was
watch the movie. It's good.
And it's about perseverance, and owning your corner you're gonna have to keep
even
pushing.
When people are telling you that it's crazy and it'll never work, and now there is a point where you have to say, well, this might be futile, this might not work, but sometimes you got to give it a go. Own your corner. And here's the thing why I always say that is because people are saying that, is it too late? Like I said, the example of hearing the guy say he started in 2020, and my mind immediately went to, well, it's 2025. That approach isn't going to work. Like the Clubhouse. Remember, Clubhouse was this big thing, and everybody went on Clubhouse and got their audience that way. Well, that was a big thing because of the pandemic and people weren't in. You can't do that today because Clubhouse isn't that kind of thing in 2025. So you got to figure out, it's doable. What I'm saying is it's doable, but how do I do it in 2025 or 2026? Because we're going into 2026 now. We're going into a new year. Things will be different. Yeah.
Everything ain't like it was.
That's why I always talk about what's new and current now, but how do we do it now? It's still doable. It's just harder. You bought that farm, the ground is frozen. You still got to turn it over. How? You still got to do the work. And I understand that some people don't want to or can or whatever excuses. That's what Fran and I was saying about, we always throw the excuses up front, but it is doable. And how you stay in this mindset is you watch people that talk about how doable it is. Even in 2026, it's still doable. It's just, we got to think about the process and the steps now. That's why I wanted to bring it to you. The steps. What are the steps? What do we do? And we got to keep going and moving, but you also got to keep listening to people who tell you that it's still doable.
Right.
Not the ones that say it can't be done. Like the movie. People was telling him it couldn't be done. His friend was telling him it couldn't be done, but all the while his friend is helping him out. So
yeah.
So it's doable. So you got to own your corner.
And you need to make sure you are connecting with terryjohnsononline.com/info so that you can own your corner. She'll teach you how to own your corner. She'll give you the steps. She'll give you the tools. She will help you own your corner, making sure that, okay, here's the thing. She's going to help you take the hassle out of owning your corner. You don't have to do it the hard way. You don't have to go out there and do the research. And she's already done all that. All you need to do is get with her so that you can own your corner. She'll tell you what tools to use and how to make them work, because that's why she does what she does.
And give me your questions. I don't have a DM me your questions, comment wherever you have a question. Those are free. Questions and answers are free.
So follow Terry Johnson online everywhere. Instagram, YouTube, you'll find her. Facebook. Look for her. Yeah. And then look for her every week here on Tuesdays, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 o'clock on the East Coast. And then on Fridays for our Tech Life Weekly, where she gives us all the latest and greatest There have been some apps coming out that we've been
Yeah.
introduced to. There are apps, and then
Yeah, new
there's
apps.
more
Mhm.
tools, and things are happening, and all in the world of
Going
social
on.
media. Yeah. So this is what we're here for, to help you take the hassle out of your hustle. Become a part of the Bizchicks community. So here, let me tell you what's happening with that.
Mm,
Yes.
let's hear it.
One, check out our new website and just go to bizchicks.net. Check out our new website. You can also join by texting biz to 33777. We do not spam. So
No
we
spam.
just want to keep you informed. Now, here's the thing. When you go to bizchicks.net, you have an opportunity to join the community. Right now, that community to join is free.
Mhm.
Coming in January, it'll be $49 a year.
There you go.
So right now, you can get in on the ground floor and see, when you come into Bizchicks, you have opportunity to work with our digital. We got some digital coaches over there that you can ask questions to help you, whatever it is that you're doing in
Yeah,
your business.
whatever you need to work on.
Right. And so we got some digital coaches over there, but the digital coaches are only available if you're part of the community.
You have to be a part of the community. That's how it goes.
And they're there, they're available. Join the community. That is our gift to you. And then we got a couple of other things. We have some tools that help you be more productive. We got all kind of little things in the community. So go to
Yeah, check
bizchicks.net.
it out.
Yep. And we want to hear from you and help you take the hassle out of your hustle. That is what we have for you this Tuesday. Looking forward to seeing you next week and on Friday.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
don't forget to go to
Yeah.
the front of your own line. Let's do this.
Yes.
And own your
Yeah.
corner, people. Own your corner.
Own your corner. Please
We'll talk.
do. And thanks
Yes, we're
everybody for
looking forward.
watching. And
We're looking
we'll see you
forward
next
to
time.
seeing you soon.
Thank you for tuning in today. We trust you've learned something to help you build a more profitable business and take the hassle out of your hustle. See you next time.